This is Japan.
Yes.
This is the...
Make it a bit bigger.
So before March 2021, the cases were almost baseline. After they rolled out the vaccine in March, April and then May, and now it has got one of the highest vaccination coverage, 79% coverage in Japan, where they don't have any vaccine mandate, they educate the people, they never had lockdown. You see the cases started spiking, then now it is spiking. Either the immunity is coming down, so before vaccine, baseline, after, and then this is the deaths in Japan. So they had high deaths, of course, but after the vaccine also, it didn't, almost symmetrical. I mean, you expect the deaths to come down. If you claim that vaccine prevent deaths, at the population level, you should see the big picture is not, and now the deaths has spiked compared to pre-vaccine era.
But tell me, I don't understand, when did they really only roll it out in April? Because in Germany, they started to vaccinate in December 2020.
Germany, they started, UK was the first country in December.
Yes.
It's in
beginning of January, let's say.
We saw the UK figure also. We can show that.
Oh yeah, you want to go?
UK also we are having the similar type. Even
this is Singapore. Sorry, I make it a bit
Singapore
small.
also we are having the same.
Here is UK. Here is Singapore. So what should we look at first?
Yeah.
UK. I make it big. One moment. Here we are.
This is the UK.
Ah, I see.
See, UK, December they rolled out the vaccine. After vaccine, there is a spike which is higher than the pre-vaccination spike.
But again, these are the numbers which are also a bit falsified, as we don't trust.
No, like look here, Robert. One thing is there.
Yeah.
These numbers we don't trust. These numbers also we don't trust. We are using the same methods.
Yes. So you can compare.
Compare.
This is how you think as a scientist.
That's epidemiologist has to improvise, no?
Yeah, exactly.
We have to whatever data is available.
Yes. Okay.
So that is why these comparisons matter more.
Yeah.
Okay. The same country I am comparing.
Yeah.
Earlier you can say ki here data Africa is less, better data in Europe. Here it is I am comparing UK with UK. If they are using one method, the same methods they are using now. And they are having, you see, after the vaccine, the spike, and then again, it may, what happens is that those who are vulnerable who die, they can't die second time. So after, and then many people, even if it spreads, many people develop natural immunity. Yes. And therefore, it comes down on its own after causing the harm.
Mm-hmm.
And there are other countries also. I can.
So I make it small again.
Singapore is also having the same problem.
Singapore is here.
You see, this is the vaccine rollout.
Oh, I see. Okay.
64%. This is the.
So here.
No, this is USA. USA is also having same problem.
Sorry, I was wrong.
In fact, I had a panel with Knut Witkowski of USA. He said these vaccines are not working. He is very blunt. Knut.
Who said this?
Knut Witkowski.
Knut Witkowski. Yeah, sure.
I was a couple of panels with him.
Yeah. Oh, really? Where was it?
Macmillan, Philip Macmillan's panel. I will send you the links.
He's from the Rockefeller Institute in New York City.
So we are
German-born.
Yeah. We are in touch. In fact, we have been on a couple of panels together. Three panels together.
I see.
I will send you the links.
He's very cool. He has this straight way of saying
straight way never misses word. And we clicked also.
I see. Oh, this is impressive. So you have like no cases beforehand, and then you have a lot of cases.
This is Singapore. See, I mean, how do you justify population level mass immunization with this data which a high school student can see? I mean, these are just pictorial. And this is data in the public domain. This is from Worldometer, and this is from the vaccine tracker. Both are available in the public domain.
I don't know. And do they have the vaccine is mandatory in Singapore, isn't it?
Except in Japan, where it is not mandatory, but they have the highest intake.
Yeah, sure. Because maybe
they have a faith. They have a faith in the authority.
They trust exactly. They trust in the authority of the state.
Yes.
And so that doesn't need to be mandatory.
Doesn't need to be mandatory.
Yeah, I see. Wow, this is really impressive. I mean, this is like the most impressive graph.
You can see other countries. I have whatever country I have seen.
This is USA?
USA, see, these are the cases in USA. And this must
Wait a
be,
moment, I make it small so it's easier to see.
this is my cases, this must be the deaths. This was the deaths, this was the cases.
I see. Amazing.
And this was, I think, this is
This is Israel.
Sri Lanka. I
Lanka.
keep track of Sri Lanka, neighboring country.
Ah, yes, this is
See,
good.
you see, it was almost cases were baseline before the vaccine. After the vaccine, cases are surged.
Trends.
See, these deaths. So I was really surprised at Sri Lanka because every time I used to compare it with India, it was doing so well.
So what is it? Wait, I have to understand this. Trends of COVID deaths in Sri Lanka.
After the vaccine, deaths are more. The same cases are more. These are the cases in Sri Lanka.
Ah, cases, death. Okay, let's look at the death curve because this is always more important, I would say, because you cannot fake a death. Not so easily, at least. Wow.
And whatever limitations in data quality is before same country, before and after the policy. Now,
So there's a testing here too.
the testing and whatever for deaths as well as for cases. They didn't change the policy. Now I think gradually, now they are saying ki no need to test now because they are finding it embarrassing ki so many deaths are occurring. Maybe that reason.
So, I mean, this...
And as an epidemiologist,
So here's a story of you're vaccinated, you're risking more.
I mean,
think it
population
doesn't-
level, as an epidemiologist, I don't see individual, I see population. So I am not happy with the health of the population after vaccination. I mean, the data is there or somebody has to explain to me what's happening.
Yeah.
Whatever, that is for the deaths. But if I am seeing the bigger picture, I see something which is
But in the bigger picture, you will have also to see whether there
disturbing.
are more people dying altogether. Can you say this? Whether there are more people dying altogether?
Maybe that because the other health conditions were neglected during the lockdown.
You might know Professor Kubantner in Germany. He made a study seeing the overall death. He took the numbers from Professor Fenton in London, and then he adapted it also to the German numbers. And he found out that the vaccine rollout, and especially the booster, that you can see it in the overall mortality of the region where the booster has been implemented. And the peak of the plus mortality is different in Berlin than in Munich, according to when the booster has been rolled out. So there's a very strong correlation, not even like this, but it's really like the week where the booster is rolled out, you have more people dying than average. And this, we had a narrative together some weeks ago, and this was very impressive to me. And I think it had also an impact on the vote. The German parliament voted now against the mandatory vaccine. It's a very recent decision, and I wonder what this will lead to. And other people fear that maybe through the European Union, mandatory vaccine in Europe will be implemented anyway, or it will come back again. But I mean, this is so clear; it cannot be clearer.
It is just putting these things are lying for everyone to see, scattered. I have just put it together, and it is telling a story.
Thank you for this work. And what does it make? What does it tell about our society?
I think what is happening is we are losing out on the art of medicine, art of public health, where you have all these things, judgment. Now everybody is looking at, virologist looking at that virus, clinician is seeing that, and from distance. They are not adding up together. When you just stand aside, like art requires something which you can't explain. So they are just trying to explain things in a scientific way where medicine, because there is a lot of human variations. And another thing which I find very, very wrong in this pandemic, this mass vaccine rollout was never done for a disease with 0.1 mortality or 1% mortality. There are so many diseases we have got, particularly in poor countries, 5-10% mortality, even with treatment. So that was one thing. Secondly, it is still under experimental use authorization. Experiment should have a control group.
Yes.
If you are giving a mass vaccination, where is your control group? Who has ethically cleared such a study without a control group? Even small studies, you require a randomized trial. You could have randomized some communities in each country to get the vaccine, some countries not to get, and then compared. Now here it will be very difficult. They will say, no, it may be due to COVID, they had a prior, whatever, they will try to cover up due to other disease. like this deaths are due to other diseases, like many people did not have proper treatment, cancers were neglected, heart disease were neglected. So this spurt may be due to that and incidental, the same they will use what we are trying to use. As a misdiagnosis, they will use the same and get away with it. But if you have a control group, some communities given vaccine, others not given vaccine, and then you can compare, it would be very clear. Because it is an experiment, so you should have a control group and experiment. But they have, I would say they don't want that strong evidence. In the court of law, it is tampering with data. I told Advocate Oja that don't leave any evidence for you to.
Wow, yeah, but this sounds like premeditation. Yeah, and
Yeah, I'm not happy with whatever it is done in a very amateurish fashion. Amateurish fashion, like we have a lockdown first 2 weeks so that hospitals are not overwhelmed. Then okay, the vaccine is coming. Now just extend it, we have a vaccine and then people will come out. And now vaccine has come, we had a lockdown for 2 years, schools were closed. And now we have lost everything, now vaccine is also not... and now we are spending on boosters. India has spent, I think, 135,000 crores on vaccines for COVID, and they are trying to vaccinate the children, where not a single, perhaps, child has died of COVID in this past 2 years, a healthy child. And as I said, 2,000 children are dying of other diseases.
yes,
Spend money on that if you are really concerned about child. And another very important thing, as you were saying, in September 2021, they did a sero survey in Delhi. They found 82% of below 18 years, they were already having antibodies. That means the virus has run through the child population. And now the CDC has considered, after 2 years, reluctantly rather, grudgingly, that natural immunity is as robust as vaccine-induced immunity. And so many studies are there, Israeli studies and other studies.
Oh, it's even like, what was it, 27 times more...
27 and more robust.
More robust than any vaccine.
If a person has recovered from natural infection, that person has taken 25 boosters, because first and second is the first 27 times more, first two means first 2 doses, and then 25 boosters. Why the hell does he require a single dose of vaccine? Scientifically speaking.
Yes.
So that shows some, things are not...
you are a scientist with a lot of experience, and you worked on other communicable diseases.
I have investigated respiratory outbreaks. I have investigated pneumococcal, German measles, typhoid outbreaks in different parts. I know how it works. And this type of amateur at a global level, it's something which I sometimes feel is a dream or something. This so much of